Very good. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Bruce Gordon with the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. Thank you for joining us here today, and for those watching online across the state of Minnesota, we thank you for joining us as well. Everybody standing up here today has one game plan, and that is to make sure that fans attending Final Four events get home safely or get back to their hotels safely. And to do that, to have a sober game plan. We're going to talk more about that today. Whether it's the light rail behind me, other public transportation options, or a rideshare program like Lyft or Uber, there's really no excuse not to have a sober game plan. To share that plan, we're asking fans in downtown Minneapolis to use our Snapchat filter, I have a sober game plan. So we show the others about the importance of planning ahead for a sober ride. We have several speakers with us today who will talk more about making a game plan and making a winning game plan for everybody so that we stay safe on Minnesota roads. Mike Hansen is the director of the Office of Traffic Safety at the Department of Public Safety. Howie Padilla with Metro Transit, here to talk about light rail and the busing options that exist in downtown Minneapolis. Chapin Hansen and Kayla Whaling are representing Lyft and Uber here today. And Sergeant Darcy Horn will discuss the role of the Minneapolis Police Department in their efforts to keep people safe. And Lieutenant Gordon Shank will discuss extra DWI patrols taking place during the Final Four weekend. We'll start with Mike Hansen from the Office of Traffic Safety.
Thank you, Bruce. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Hansen, and I currently have the privilege of serving as the Director for the Office of Traffic Safety at the Department of Public Safety. The Final Four teams that made it here to Minneapolis to play this weekend all made it here because of their dedication and their commitment to excellence and to making great game plans and making great decisions to execute those game plans. We're asking everybody who participates in this weekend's events and festivities, whether you're attending the games or going to any of the many other events that are taking place around this really high-profile event, to make that plan ahead of time. As Bruce said, there really is not an excuse for somebody to wind up with an alcohol-related issue over the weekend. There are just too many options out there for us to take advantage of. So fans, make those great decisions, make those game plans, and work together as a team to get everybody back home or back to your hotel safe and sound. We all know Minneapolis is no stranger to hosting world-class sporting events like the Final Four. If you remember, in 2018, we had the Super Bowl here. And during that one weekend alone, 331 people made a bad decision and wound up arrested for DWI. Contrast that with a typical weekend in Minneapolis when there's about 285 persons arrested. So we do see that uptick with these large events, but they can all be avoided if everybody makes those good decisions and stays out of trouble. In addition to talking to all of our drivers who are out there who are going to be making their way around the metro area, I'd also like to talk to the pedestrians, because we're going to have lots of pedestrians in the downtown Minneapolis area, and we ask that you be part of this decision-making process as well. In order to keep you safe, you need to pay attention to what's going on around you. Use the buddy system so that everybody can get home or back to your hotels safely. If you're impaired, if you're distracted, your vision, your decision-making, all of that is affected. And so it takes all of us working together to make sure that we make those better decisions. Here's one statistic I'd like everybody to think about. In the last 5 years, 574 people have been killed in alcohol or impaired driving related crashes in Minnesota. That's 574 preventable tragedies that did not have to happen, but they were made because an impaired driver, an impaired pedestrian, or an impaired bicyclist made that bad decision and did not stick to their game plan. So everybody, we can avoid those if we all make that good game plan and stick to it. Plan to enjoy the games this weekend and enjoy everything that takes place on the court, in the arena, but make sure that the decisions that you make don't mean that you land in court on Monday morning. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. Howie Padilla with Metro Transit. You know, really there are so many options out there, and Metro Transit, of course, is one of the easiest options around there. Our trains run every 10 minutes. The faces behind me, you see some of our operators in their uniforms. They are there, they know, to get people safely from one place to the other. On times like this, when we're hosting large events, they also know that they take on a larger role. It's those faces, they're the ones that could potentially keep people out of jail. They're getting people who maybe have been out there partying, having fun, keeping them from hurting others, possibly hurting themselves. Worst case scenario, you just heard about some statistics about fatalities. They could keep people from killing themselves or killing others. It's a sobering thought. It should be. You see the train behind us. That is an unbelievably large reminder as that flashes by people. They talk about have your game plan. Your game plan should be easy. You can plan it now at metrotransit.org and plan your trip. You can do it on your smartphone. These days, who doesn't have one of those? And you can absolutely call any of our resources or reach out to find out exactly how to get where you need to go and get there safely. Everybody here is hoping for that to happen. We do this on a normal basis. This is part of why we are in a thriving urban area. We love these events. Super Bowl was mentioned, State Fair, all of these things come through, and you have the opportunity to get to where you need to go safely, get home safely, wake up the next day and do it again. Take advantage of these faces behind us. They'll be there to help you out.
Good morning, I'm Sergeant Darcy Horn, Minneapolis Police Department. Every day, Minneapolis has its officers out patrolling the streets, keeping those who live, work, and visit Minneapolis safe. This is especially true during the Final Four. We are very aware of the dangers of drunk driving, and we're also aware that it's an issue that's not isolated to our highways and our interstates. We're very cognizant of the fact and the dangers of impaired driving on city streets that have many pedestrians. So as we at MPD step up our game for the Final Four, we're letting everyone know that they have a part to play as well. We're asking those coming downtown to be aware of their surroundings, whether they're a pedestrian or a driver, and to call 911 if they suspect an impaired driver. Let us know. And also to plan ahead, to stay safe, and to have fun. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. On behalf of Lyft, I just want to say how extremely proud we are to be a part of this group that is helping fans attending the Final Four games make smart and responsible transportation decisions this weekend. At Lyft, we're committed to making cities more livable. So we're excited to connect with local communities, businesses, and organizations with the collective goal of encouraging folks to ride smart during this exciting stage of March Madness. It's our hope that visitors and residents alike will choose a responsible ride to enjoy all the festivities, as well as all of the amazing attractions that the Twin Cities have to offer, such as the bars and restaurants in the North Loop, famous First Avenue, the iconic Walker Center, and all the incredible lakes and parks surrounding the cities. This is just the beginning of Lyft working alongside organizations like the Department of Public Safety, State Patrol, as well as Metro Transit. Whether it's making use of our newest driver support center in Maplewood, or aligning on convenient pickup and drop-off locations throughout the cities, we want to continue to enable thousands of drivers and riders to enjoy a worry-free weekend and beyond. Our 2019 Economic Impact Report recently found that 73% of people in the Twin Cities are less likely to drive substance impaired due to the availability of Lyft. And it's always our goal to provide reliable and affordable transportation to those that need it the most. To make the experience as easy as possible for fans celebrating all of the Final Four activities this weekend, riders can actually enter the code Captain Game Day in the Lyft app for $20 in credits toward a smart ride any night this weekend from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. Even if you don't plan to drink during this weekend's events, you can still get a ride to avoid parking and congestion. Finally, I think it's important to state that we encourage folks to take public transportation when possible. Our economic impact report also found that nearly half of Twin City riders take public transit at least once a week. So to take the worry out of driving altogether, you can easily take Lyft rides both to and from bus and light rail stops throughout the cities. We look forward to everyone responsibly enjoying the final tournament games this weekend. Thanks so much. Chapin Hansen, marketing manager with Lyft. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kayla Whaling and I'm with Uber. So we've all heard the reasons or excuses that people give when they have had too much to drink and they get behind the wheel. Whether they say it's because they had one or two drinks or it's because they do this every weekend. The truth of the matter is there's never a reason to get behind the wheel after consuming alcohol. And so with Uber, we've been partnering with Mothers Against Drunk Driving and law enforcement across the country to remind people to leave the excuses at home, plan ahead, and give that reason to ride instead. And so whether if you're hear somebody at a party or after the game and you're watching it at a bar and you hear someone, they say, I'm gonna drive home, instead give them that reason to ride. Say there's a bus, a train, an Uber, a push away. So, and I would also like to thank our law enforcement, the men and women who are going to be out on patrol this weekend, making the streets safer. And then, of course, the people that are going to be driving on Uber, transit, or driving buses. Appreciate all the work they're doing to help keep people safe and avoiding drinking and driving. Thank you.
Good morning. Lieutenant Gordon Shank with Minnesota State Patrol. Thousands of people will be coming to the Metro this weekend to enjoy the events, and we hope people have a good time, but we also want people to know that drunk driving will not be tolerated in our communities. If you see someone that's going to make a decision to drive that's been drinking, or if you're a passenger, or you see someone that is driving erratically as you're driving, call it in. Prevent them from making that decision, or also call in or have a passenger call in. We will have troopers in the area, hopefully to get the vehicle stopped, but we need you to speak up. We need people to speak up on this incident and things that happen. With that being said, the State Patrol will have troopers that are working extra DWI enforcement, including myself. So if you see something, say something, we'll have extra troopers working to stop people that make the bad decision. Also, we enjoy meeting people, whether it's Minnesotans or visitors, but we do not enjoy meeting them in the back of our squad cars. So plan ahead, make sure that you make that decision so something doesn't happen that you will regret forever. Make that positive decision to plan ahead. Thank you.
This time we'll open it up to questions for any of our speakers.
It's for Lieutenant and Shank and Sergeant Horn. How many extra patrols are you going to have out above and beyond what you would normally have? I guess opposed to the State Patrol and MPD.
Yeah, I'll let you go if you'd like, and then I'll speak.
Sure. Minneapolis has many public safety partners helping us, which increases the availability of our staff to go out and patrol on the streets. So everyone is working this weekend to help ensure public safety and increased patrols.
Speaking on behalf of the patrol, we have troopers that regularly work the night shift. In addition to that, we have extra DWI enforcement that troopers have signed up for that goes through the championship night. Yes, sir.
When people see impaired drivers, should they call 911 then? I mean, or is there a different number that
We say to call 911. If you see someone that is driving in a manner that you believe they're impaired and they've made that decision to drive, we ask that you or your passenger call 911, get as much information as you can, vehicle description, plate, the location that you're at. That's what we ask. We have troopers in the area. Dispatch will then air the call to our troopers, and we'll do our best to get the vehicle stopped. Thank you.
Any other questions?